Hey there, welcome to Craft Central Designs. Just a quick one for you today. I created 3 Christmas tree skirts out of felt. Very pretty, very easy to create, and very inexpensive. On the average, around just $2 to $3 for a tree skirt. Perhaps you just realized you're in need of a tree skirt, or maybe you would like to give your current tree skirt a makeover, or perhaps you would just like to create your own tree skirt like I do. I will show you step by step how very easily and creatively that can be achieved. Welcome to all to my channel today. If you are not currently a subscriber, I hope you will consider becoming one. And as well, if you enjoy this tutorial, please give this video a thumbs up. I would appreciate that. And of course, as always, leave me your questions and your comments. I love receiving them, and I love interacting with those who view my channel. Okay, let's get creating these very pretty, very simple to create, very inexpensive tree skirts. Let's look at the first tree skirt that we're going to do here. This one is out of red felt. I'm sorry. I have velvet on the mind because I'm using so much velvet ribbon these days. It just kind of popped out of my mouth. But I meant red felt, and you can pick that up off of the bolt at Hobby Lobby. Now, I'm going to be putting pom poms on this one. This is very simple, but so cute. I use this one on my gingerbread tree, my gingerbread pencil tree that I created at the Quantum House. Now, like I mentioned, this is so inexpensive to do and so simple. It's just a matter of cutting out a circle, creating a slit so that you can wrap it around the Christmas tree, and embellishing it. It's that easy. Now, I'm going to show you that drawing here in just a minute, but I do draw everything out. It's best to plan things, prior to getting started so that you're very organized. Now, here's that drawing that I created. The square is just my piece of felt. I decided about how large I wanted my tree skirt. Now, that depends upon the size of the tree. So you're going to want to imagine how large of a circle or a tree skirt that you want to create before you start doing your drawing. But what I did for my tree skirt, this particular one is 26 inches wide or round. And I just divide that number in half, which would be 13, and that's where my center is going to be. And it's very easy to sit down and make this drawing, and much better to do this before you get started. Now, I just simply divide my the width of my skirt in half, and that's going to be my center point. Now, in order to achieve that, I'm going to have to use a tape measure, or any kind of long ruler will do. And I'm going to find my center point by placing my tape measure down. And I'm going to turn it in different directions, making sure that I actually have the center. Now, I do use a straight pin with a pearl head on it, or any type of head. And then you can place that right in the center so you can keep track of where your center is. And then just use your tape measure or your ruler and just go around and make sure that you have it in a pretty good round shape. Doesn't have to be perfect. No one will ever notice if it's a little bit off underneath your Christmas tree. So don't obsess about getting absolute perfection, but do try and get your tree skirt round. And again, you do so by finding the center and then measuring all points around your tree skirt or around the circle to make sure it's pretty even. Now, the little star shapes that you see on there, that's where I'm going to put my embellishments. So I really planned everything out. Now, at 6 o'clock on my tree skirt, if you will, that's where I'm going to place my ribbons. That's going to be the means of tying that tree skirt closed once you get it around the tree. Now, once I've determined where my center point is on my tree skirt, and I keep measuring and measuring here just to make sure I've got it right. But what I did with mine was I did mine first on a piece of craft paper. So I made myself a pattern, and that way I could cut and adjust and do whatever I needed to do. Then I placed my pattern on my felt and I cut it out. So best to make a pattern first and then cut it out. And here I'm just making sure that everything is circular as much as possible. Then I take a piece of painter's tape and I place it right at the center point, and I bring my painter's tape out to the edge. And this is how I'm going to cut a nice straight slit that's going to open up and go around my tree trunk. So, just to review, draw everything out on paper. Decide where everything's going to go in your general design. Cut it out on a piece of paper, a big tissue paper, a piece of tissue paper, something like that. Craft paper, I used craft paper. Draw it out, cut out your pattern, put it on your felt, cut it out, and now we're at the center point, and I just cut my slit by putting down a piece of painter's tape. Now this works really, really well. And even after I have my felt all cut out, as you saw, I just keep checking it because at this point you can still trim it up if you need to. Now I'm pointing out where I'm going to put my embellishments on my piece and also my ribbon. Now I'm going to use a satin ribbon, not wired, not a papery ribbon, a true soft satiny ribbon. That's going to make a beautiful closure for your tree skirt. Now I made a number of pom poms. I believe I did 7 pom poms. Now I've been doing a lot of pom pom tutorials. So if you follow my channel, you've seen me show how I create pom poms. So if you have a pom pom maker, you could do it that way, or you could choose the method that I do, where I just simply wrap it around a piece of cardboard and tie a piece of yarn around it and then trim it all up. Now I leave a tail on my piece that I wrap around my pom-pom when I'm creating them, because I'm going to do a little design on mine where I create a little loop. Now, this is the point at which I'm determining where I'm going to put my pom-poms. So as you can see there, I do 12, 3, and 9 o'clock. And then in between those points, that's where I'm going to put another pom-pom. I'll show you that here in just a minute. But I'm going to start by just balancing out my pom-poms and their application on this tree skirt. So I'm going to start at 12 o'clock, assuming that my opening where I cut the slit, that's 6 o'clock. So I'm going to place my pom-pom right on the very edge of my tree skirt. Now this is felt, so it doesn't fray. That's the beauty of using felt for a tree skirt. It's also very inexpensive. So I'm going to place my pom-pom right on the very edge of my tree skirt. Now this is going to be the top side of the tree skirt. And I'm just going to put a little dab of glue right there on the edge. And I'm going to pop my pom-pom right down in that glue. Now see how it's sitting right on the very edge? So if you wanted to, you could use either side of this tree skirt the way I'm designing it. You can either do the design that I'm doing, or you could turn it over and you'll just see the pom-poms poking out from the edge of the tree skirt. It's up to you how you want to do it. But I chose to do mine with a little bit of a twist. I put my tails that I created my pom-pom with, and I'm going to loop them and create kind of a loop design, just like that, holding on my pom-pom. Now, this looked really cute underneath my gingerbread pencil tree, and all I can tell you is this is so easy and so simple, but it's really pretty, and it's extremely inexpensive to create one like this, a tree skirt like this. The felt is really nice and thick, and it creates a pretty sturdy tree skirt. So then I'm going to take Aleene's Tacky Glue, and I'm just going to form a trail of glue where I'm going to drop my little yarn pieces down in there and create my little decorative loop. Now, to make sure I have that all tacked down, and that's the look that I'm going to have for this one. Now, could you purchase some of the chunky pom-poms that are already made? They come in a bag in the department with the pipe cleaners and the felt. Yes, you could do that. You could do that. You could definitely just get those. They make some big chunky ones, which would be really cute on this. I like to make my own pom-poms. That's my preference. But, if you follow my channel, I just love to create everything I could possibly create myself. There's just something so satisfying about doing that for me. And I assume if you're following my channel that you are someone who also likes to do that same thing. So here I am putting another pom-pom on. I put my dab of glue right on the edge, pop my pom-pom down in that glue. Then I'm going to loop the tails of my pom-pom, and I'm just going to place some Aleene's Tacky Glue there in the shape of the loop, drop my tails down in there, and that's the design that I chose for mine. But like I said, you don't have to do the loop. You could just do this part and then turn it over and just have the pom-poms poking out on the edges. That's up to you. You could put as many pom-poms on it as you like. I did just like a 12, 3, and 9, and then I put one pom-pom in between those sections. So you could just eyeball it. I did not use a tape measure to make sure I had it perfect, because it just doesn't have to be perfect. Now I have my opening there, the slit. Now remember, again, this is felt. It's never going to fray. That's the beautiful thing about felt. And the felt that you get off the bolt, it's very sturdy and thick. Yeah, not like the pieces of felt, like, for example, that you get at Walmart. That's very thin felt. This is thick felt. All right, so I attached my ribbons. I attached them about 1/3 of the way down my slit, and then I attached them close to the edge of the tree skirt felt. Now, this is going to provide a means to tie a very pretty satin ribbon bow to close your tree skirt. Now, moving on to the next tree skirt. Now, this one's a little bit smaller. I'm doing this for auction trees, and so they're more like a 3-foot, 4-foot size. So this tree skirt is smaller. It's around 22 inches, so my center point is going to be 11 inches. My other one was, I believe, 26 inches, and that was suitable for a pencil tree. Now, if you have a bigger tree, naturally, you're going to have to make your felt circle bigger. Okay, so again, I'm going to cut my slit here, and this is, I'm imagining, going to be around the 6 o'clock mark. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing with this one. Doesn't matter that it's different size, it's all done the same way. Now on this one, I'm going to use little little colored red and green little gems, little crafting gems. And I decided on my design before I got started, and I'm going to start placing my design on my tree skirt exactly the same way I did my pom-poms. I started 12, 3, and 9, and then I put an embellishment grouping in between those sections, just like that. Again, you can just eyeball it, but I sat and I played around with the gems to decide what type of design that I wanted, and you can do this very easily. You can create your own. Just drop your gems out on the table and play around with them. There's all different sizes. I think I got those at Hobby Lobby. And I decided on a particular design just by playing around with the gems and deciding what I thought would look pretty. So this is what I came up with. I did the larger gems. The largest gem is in the center, and then I put 4 green gems a little bit smaller around that. And then in between there, I put smaller red gems. So this was just a design that I came up with by just, experimenting with my gems. And I'm just going to simply be using Aleene's Tacky Glue to glue these on. Now, my groupings of gems are going to be at the position that I just mentioned, 12, 3, and 9. And then in between, I'm going to place groupings as well, just like I did with the pom-poms. And then I added more gems in a different configuration, and I'll show you that here in a minute. But now I'm just taking my Aleene's Tacky, putting a dab of glue on there. These are going to hold on here very well. And this is pretty. It's pretty because you have the Christmas lights on the tree, and they kind of, the little gems sparkle underneath the Christmas tree with the Christmas tree lights on there. So, yeah, this is pretty. So inexpensive to do this, and so much fun. Now, you could just use any type of trims on this tree skirt. You could put rickrack around the outside. You could put buttons. You could just put anything that you like on here. If you wanted to create some type of design and adhere it to your felt, such as maybe a gingerbread made out of felt, and you could just put that on the tree skirt and then make that like your kind of your show piece, if you will, to adorn your tree or underneath your tree. You could just do anything that you like. You could put snowflakes, whatever. But look how pretty that is, and it's so simple. Now I'm going to go to my 9 o'clock position on this circle or this tree skirt, and I'm going to put more of my gems. Now see how I laid everything out to make it easier for myself once I started putting my gems on. So I went into my little container of gems, and I just did all of my groupings. Now I put them all on. Now in between my little configuration of gems that I did and kind of the diamond shape, I decided to connect those with 3 larger gems in between each of my little triangles, or my diamond shapes, my diamond shapes. So that's what I'm doing here, adding a dab of glue, and in between each of those, I just simply put a grouping of gems. Now it's all connected, so all around the tree skirt, you'll have that sparkle from the gems. Very easy to do, to figure out how you want to do it. Just play around with it. Now look, this is very simple, but yet very, very pretty. Now I attached my ribbons. I attached them on the back side, and I pull them through the slit just like that. And then I just tie pretty bows, just a regular shoestring bow. Now I'm going to angle my tails on there to finish that off nicely. And you see how easy this is. It's a project that only takes maybe an hour, very quick and easy. If you purchase a felt tree skirt, like say, for example, at Walmart, oh my goodness, it's paper thin, it's like paper, it's crinkly. Go to your Hobby Lobby or anywhere that you can get felt off the bolt, and that's going to be so much better. This white felt I got at Hobby Lobby, and oh my goodness, it is so thick and fantastic. So again, I figured out how I was going to put my half pearls on. Now, these are white half pearls, and I got them in the jewelry making department at Hobby Lobby. So I used the largest pearl in the center, and then I graduated my sizes to just create this very simple design. I'm going to attach my pearls with Aleene's tacky glue. This could not be more simple, but now you have a very pretty little elegant tree skirt to put under your tree. I attached some white satin ribbons that say Merry Christmas. I attach them on the opposite side, and then I pull my ribbons through that slit, and then I just simply tie just a shoestring bow, and this is going to be very pretty underneath. Actually, it's going underneath a 3-foot tree. All right, so just to take one final look, this is my tree skirt that I did with the Pom Poms. Love the look of this. Really great underneath a gingerbread tree or a traditional tree. And here are my other 2 tree skirts with the little bows tied. So you can see how pretty that looks. So simple, so inexpensive, so easy, and such a quick project. Okay, remember to subscribe if you are not currently. Give this video a thumbs up, and until next time, you all take care.